Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my February favorites, tons of stuff. Let's get right into it. This here is from Giorgio Armani. It's actually pretty new kind of ish, but it is the Face Fabric Second Skin makeup. I totally didn't even understand what it was when I first got it. The first time I used it, I tried applying it with a brush. Do not do it. It is supposed to be a light to buildable medium coverage, like second skin pretty much, and you are supposed to apply it with your fingers. It has a moussey silicone-y type of texture, which to be honest kind of freaked me out at first because I have combo skin and I do have dry patches, so I was nervous this was going to cling onto them, but it absolutely does not. It just completely blends into the skin so seamlessly and just evens out the skin enough to make it look like your skin but better, but it actually feels kind of hydrating on the skin. And if you want to build up the coverage in certain areas, my suggestion is to take a tiny bit and press it into the skin with light kind of rubbing motions. The more you rub it, the lighter the coverage becomes. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell this hand to this hand, but it just looks better. And the expiration is 24 months, so technically this will last you 2 years. This is going to be amazing during the warmer months, or if you live in a warmer climate, because although it is that silicone-y, slippery kind of hydrating feeling, it is incredibly long wearing in hot, humid weather. I have put that to the test for sure because I just recently got back from some traveling and I was wearing this almost every single day without a problem. So really surprisingly shocked by how good this is, and I would definitely suggest it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation. I have mine in the shade 6 Medium, and this is supposed to be for a daily luminous tint. So it's similar to the Giorgio Armani where it's supposed to be your skin but better. It is definitely not full coverage. You can get it to kind of medium full if you really build it up. On days when I just want to use my fingers, rub it into my face. This is weird because I am not a finger makeup person because I'm a germaphobe, but recently, for just kind of quick on the go type of makeup, I've been loving using my fingers. I feel like it just really blends it and melts it into the skin nicely. It doesn't work for every formula, but this one and the Giorgio Armani it works great for. You can use this with a beauty blender or a brush. It does apply fine, unlike the Giorgio Armani. This one is a lighter kind of creamy liquid formula, so it is a little bit hydrating. I am in love with this powder. I cannot even tell you how phenomenal it is. This is the Glossier Wowder, and it has blown me away. This is pretty much like a tinted, hydrating, translucent powder. So it comes in 2 different shades. I have mine in light medium, but it's meant to be a powder, but not a heavy, cakey powder. So it's going to set your makeup. It's going to put your oils kind of at a halt. You can continue to use this almost like blotting sheets. You can keep layering it without having it look super cakey or powdery, especially for kind of combo to drier skin people. You guys are going to love this powder. It comes with a sieve, which I really like because it's not messy for being a loose powder. It just feels like nothing. It looks like nothing. The slight tint is perfect. This one is great for my skin tone. If you do have deeper skin, the deeper one's going to be great. If you have super like porcelain skin, I feel like this one might be a little too pigmented for you. So hopefully they come out with more shades. That would be awesome. You also tend to use less powder because the sieve is there, I feel. I don't personally really love this underneath the eyes because it does crease underneath my eyes if I try to set my concealer with this. But I mix this in with whatever I'm putting under my eyes to kind of add hydration to my setting powder to keep my concealer in place, and it just works so well. Glossier products in general I love, but this just makes your skin feel like silk and smooth. It blurs the skin and it just feels so good on the skin, especially for a powder. Like, that's crazy. So good. This is the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil, and I have mine in the shade 04 Candy. candy. I really like this as a prep item. That's what I actually got it for, is just to really nourish my lips. It turns out that this candy color I love on days when I'm wearing either absolutely no makeup or very little makeup, because this is just like the perfect juicy popsicle pink on my lips. It's so hydrating and nourishing, and the doe foot applicator is awesome. It's this chunky monkey of a doe foot applicator, so you can just slather this on the lips. The oil is so nourishing to the lips, so while I'm putting my makeup on, I'll just put this and let it sit there, and my lips feel comfortable with any lip product on top of that after. They have a bunch of different colors, so if pink isn't your thing, they have like a yellow, they have more red tones, and you need the tiniest bit of it, so you're really not going to run out of this anytime soon. The only thing that is annoying that I will warn you is that the suction of this is pretty intense, but the product is kind of thick, so when you're yanking it out, be careful, because sometimes like product just flies onto my lap or onto my clothes, so be a little bit slow when you're taking that out of the top. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter, and I have this in the shade Champagne. This is so beautiful, and for a pretty inexpensive price. I will say I feel like drugstore prices are just getting more and more expensive. Like, they're almost some of the items comparable to kind of mid to higher end brands, but side note, I digress. This I love because it is a cream to powder texture. It's like a mousse, like a mushy mousse, and it is so pigmented. That moussey texture feels like a cream and acts like a cream, but lasts and layers like a powder. So it's the best of both worlds. So you're getting a product that gives you no emphasis on texture. It just melts right into the skin, and you can really bump it up to get a pretty potent highlighter, but you can put this on top of your setting powder. It does not drag the setting powder, and you can layer other highlighters on top of it to really boost your whole highlight look and add some dimension. It kind of is similar to the ColourPop highlighters, which I also love, but I feel like this just performs on top of powder better than the ColourPop ones. I believe they have like 5 different colors now. I would definitely go check this out. The L'Oreal Infallible Paints Metallic Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade 402 Brass Knuckles. The reason I love this is because it is such a creamy, pigmented eyeshadow, but the shade is just that perfect bronze shade for my skin tone, where I can pop this all over the lid, literally just this, and blend it into the crease kind of with a brush or even with my finger, put mascara on, and it is this beautiful bronzy glowy look, but with one product. Bronze shadows, it sounds so silly, but like they can be a little hard to find like the perfect bronze for your skin type, because some of them are too coppery, some of them are too orange. I love everything in that realm, but this is just a true bronze on me. It is so pigmented. Like, that's crazy. It really looks like a brass metal bronzy shade. There's a slight warmth of like a rose gold undertone, but it's so true gold and it has brown in it. Totally worth it and so inexpensive. This is another eye product I've really been loving. It's brand new from CoverFX. It's their Shimmervale liquid eyeshadows. It is long wearing, it is cream, and it just gives you the most beautiful, sparkly, like wet lid effect. There are a few different colors, and I just recently ordered a couple more from Ulta, but this one is in the shade Soleil. It's like this peachy, shimmery goodness. That's what it looks like when you just do a quick swatch, and then you can tap and blend it out, and it is just this beautiful wash. It does have glitter particles in it, so if you do not like glitter, you are probably not gonna like this, but it's a metallic base with a flash of color and glitter running through it, so on the lids it just looks glossy and wet. I see this being amazing in the summertime because it is super long wearing. Just put this all over your lid, put mascara on, and it's gonna look so pretty. It reflects light so beautifully, and and I really like using this underneath other eyeshadows. It not only enhances different shades that I'm looking for, but it also creates that lit from underneath kind of a look, so it even looks nice underneath matte shadows where the matte is still matte, but there's just something a little brighter about it. Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palettes, so deeply in love. This one is in the shade 740 Scandalust, and they reformulated all of their eyeshadow palettes, and I really think they hit it out of the park. You have such a stunning array of colors. The pops of color are still also wearable, but perfectly matched with everything else in the palette, where you can really create complete looks with just one palette and so many different complete looks. So Scandalust comes with 4 matte shades, 2 metallics, and like 1 satiny kind of a shade. The one thing I do have to mention specifically about this palette is that this middle transition kind of a shade, it seems like just a normal middle toned brown, but when it goes onto the skin, it could just be the way it works with my skin tone, which is awesome also, but it is the perfect brown. It has a little bit of warmth, but it's still pretty neutral where it doesn't pull super orange on me, which is sometimes the issue I have with mid-tone browns. This palette in general, all the shades are so pigmented and so creamy. Like, that's one little thing in the palette. Do you see that? The swatch looks not so impressive, but you gotta go at least feel these in store. This is from Sephora, or you can buy it on the Marc Jacobs website, but those are like 5 of the shades. Do you see those metallics? They are so pigmented and the mattes are so creamy. Like, you really have to be careful where you just dip the tip of your brush in and blend it out, and it takes you a really long way. I know that they're a little bit pricey, but I really think they're worth it, and I hope they keep coming out with more eyeshadow combos. The Marc Jacobs Eye-Conic palettes, A+. My perfume favorite for this month is from Prada. This one is a little expensive, but to be honest, I splurge on perfumes. I'm just a perfume kind of girl, so most of my perfumes are a little pricey because I like to find unique perfumes, but this is the Prada Olafactories perfume in Soleil au Zenith. Totally butchering that because I do not have a fancy accent. It's just such a beautiful, heavy weighted bottle, and the top has this leather detailing with a magnetic clasp. It just feels expensive. This you can get in Prada stores, I think the Prada website probably, and I think some department stores like a Saks, Neiman Marcus. It's not something you can find at like Sephora or Ulta. Sandalwood, musk, vanilla, like smoky, woodsy, but there's a touch of sweet and spicy, and it's a heavy scent, but not like makes you feel sick kind of heaviness. Like, it's just a really super deep, intense, multi-layer scent. I spray it on myself, but I always spray perfumes on my clothes because they always last longer when you spray it on the clothes. And I can smell this like on my clothes until like I wash the item. It is expensive, but you get a lot. You need very little, like just a couple sprays, you're good to go. And it's just so good. It's so stinking good. And because it's so bougie and it's a little hard to find, I feel cooler having it because it's a more like exclusive scent. And I haven't actually heard anybody else ever talking about this perfume, so you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Candle of the month is almost over, and I'm literally burning it so sparingly, but it is from Lola James Harper, and it's the Bomboneria in Barcelona number 3. This is a little hard to find. This actually comes in a perfume as well, which I'm super tempted to get. It has definitely like vanilla, maybe like caramel even. It's sweet based, but it has spices in it. Like, there's like cinnamon, maybe like clove, there's some musk. So it smells a lot like the perfumes I like to wear. The scent just fills up the entire room, even though it is a single wick, and you don't need to burn it for very long to get the scent going through the room. I go through Audible books like you would not believe. It is one of my favorite things to do. No, I am not sponsored, but Audible, if you're watching this, holla at you, girl. This month, the book that I finished that I really enjoyed was by Tami Hoag, and it's called Cold Cold Heart. If you don't know what Audible is, it's basically an app on your phone that gives you access to thousands and thousands of different audiobooks. It's run through Amazon, so you do have to get the subscription and the books on like a desktop. You can't buy them on the app, but you get 1 credit a month for about $15, and that can be used to any book at all, and then you can buy more credits. If you really like thriller, serial killer type of stuff, like criminal things, you're really gonna like this one. I'm not gonna lie though, it can be a very like scary dark hole that I go into when I listen to these, because I'll be listening to like 2 different criminal, serial killer, stalker type of books, and then you start getting paranoid. Like, I go to the grocery store, I'm at the gym, anybody who I don't know who talks to me or like looks at me, I'm freaked out. I'm like, are you gonna follow me home? But it's so interesting. Criminal stuff I'm obsessed with. That's like 90% of the shows and movies I watch, and now the books I listen to. Black Panther. If you guys have not seen the Black Panther movie, you need to go see it like yesterday. I am obsessed. I was waiting for that movie to come out for what feels like years. It actually probably is years, and they casted it brilliantly. It was kind of, to me, one of the most stylish Marvel movies. Like, it really felt like its own standalone motion picture. The casting, every character. Michael B. Jordan is so beautiful though. Oh my god, he's so good looking, and just so good looking. But everyone did a really good job, and the storyline was executed so well. I have the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack, Kendrick Lamar killed it. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like the fact that it was a Marvel movie, so you know there's continuation, but also having small things like cinematography, Kendrick Lamar doing the soundtrack, it was just such a stylish movie. That brings me to the end of my February favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below for me and let me know what products you've been loving recently, because I would love to see what you guys are into and hopefully try out some new suggestions you guys may have for me. But until my next video, thank you guys as always so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye!